12:58. Oh, okay, then we're good. Yeah.
I think you wait.
Yeah. Yes. Start before 1. Hi guys. Just in case other people.
Yeah.
Should we pass these out too? Do you want to do that, Swati?
Hi, Mel. Maybe we can distribute it after this.
Yeah, you don't think they'd want to follow along?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Camera.
Okay.
Sorry.
Maybe like 105 would be good,
Uh-huh.
right? You know,
Right.
you don't want to start too early.
I won't.
Those are, yeah, extra graduation. One. A little bit about for oh my God, you extend. And I'm gonna related to your ETD. Anytime because easier, and we'd like to.
I also want to welcome you. I think you've made a smart move because there are quite a few details to of procedures to follow, format diseases, and makes the right first, and we want to say this is smooth as well. Just tell you what
The new process, yeah. Okay. So, okay.
go. Let's stop. Let's go some minutes. So we've done. So please. Instructor session.
have any queries.
Yes, we have many benefits. And now let's move on to templates. So I think you all are aware of this, that we have ready templates to use. All you have to do is just go there, use the templates, fill in the data which is required, and there you go. Your document is ready. You don't have to use something, you don't have to start building right from the scratch. I can show you like what are the templates we have. And okay. And this is our SIU page wherein we have our electronic thesis and dissertation guidelines. We have the guidelines over here, and for any queries regarding the format, you can just look at over there. And this deals with the submission process, and this for the ETD template. Let me not waste your time much, so I'll go to ETD templates, and this is your format.
Yeah, if you take one or two things away from today's workshop, it is to remember templates, and we will also talk about consistency within the style of your dissertation or thesis. So if you're not sure about like, how do I make my title page? Go to the template, you can click on it, it'll tell you exactly all the highlighted portions you need to put in for your specific.
So all you have to remember is that just remember we have templates, just go and use them. They're very easy, they're just a click away. So you could see a star mark at the end of few pages wherein you don't find it for the rest. So which means that this page which has a star mark at the end is mandatory. So you have to include that page, and few others like copyright, your dedication, acknowledgements, you don't have to. You can include only if you wish to acknowledge your dissertation or thesis to somebody else, or you want to dedicate it to somebody else. So let me go and start with the first comes your title page. And okay, this is how it looks. So let me also tell you what students, where they usually go wrong. So I've come across few documents, I've been reviewing this, and these are the general mistakes which any graduate student or any student is usually coming for. So the thing is, even for the title page, you have to maintain a 1-inch top margin and 1-inch bottom margin, so which is not really taken care of by most of the students. So please make sure that your complete document, it has to be 1 inch all through the document for all the pages. It has to be 1 inch on the top, bottom, and left and right. And this page, maybe you can ignore because the data is centered. So the top and the bottom 1 inch should be taken care of. And also, all you have to do is just replace the information, highlighted information in yellow, just put your data, and that's it. You're done with the title page. And make sure and here's the appropriate degree, and below that, and this is where most of the students go wrong, the month and year. So in the title page, the month and year has to be your appropriate graduation month and year. Say for example, I'll be graduating in this May. So for that case, it's gonna show May to 2018. So if you're planning to get graduated somewhere in summer or December, so it reads as December 2018. So and that varies. And make sure this has to be a graduation month and year. You'll know why I'm stressing this more. So and the next page after title is our copyright template. So if you want to get your data or your document copyrighted, only then you'll be going and using that template. So you can ask me like, do I have to copyright it? Do I don't have to copyright it? I would say that it's your personal choice. So if you want your data to be protected so that nobody uses it without your permission, you better go for it. So it's your personal call. So if you want to get it, so get it. And next thing, which is mandatory, is your approval sheet. So first comes your title and the next is approval sheet. This is how it looks. Okay, it's the same for everybody. And if you're doing a thesis, so it's going to be thesis approval. If it's a dissertation, it's going to be dissertation approval. You have your title and your name, and it's going to be the same. You'll replace thesis or dissertation with either thesis or dissertation. And remember, so here you have the list of those who approved your document and the date of approval. So the date here is the date of your approval. So it's like if you have defended it on so and so date, so this should be your date of approval, and this is not your graduation date. So make sure and make a note of that, please, if possible, so that you don't commit any mistakes and you don't get a huge list of revisions so that you go wrong at the last minute and you end up like going further.
So essentially, that's your date of your defense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Go ahead and answer it. You were answering his question.
so that's your date of defense, or say, for example, if you have like major revisions in your defense, so that could also be the date when they're finally approved. It could be few days after your date of defense, and wherein the chair or the committee is going to sign and approve your document.
You know, what I was wanting to ask was, and this is one of those things I think I have, but it's like, because it was in yellow on that title page, you know how I have how you had the date, and then there was a little asterisk after it, and I thought, is that just kind of referring to what it says below there? You don't really need your asterisk at the end of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then is this, so when you say it all has to be uniform, do we need to make sure that the font?
Yep,
in
I'm
this
going to tell that.
Okay.
So all you have to do is be consistent with the font style, font size, and few people use it like a mixed format, that is the first letter starts with capitals and the rest followed with small letters, and few people just go with all caps for the titles. It's flexible some ways. If you want to use all capitals, do it all caps in your whole document, only for titles, not for the content. So if you want to do that, bold, go it bold and make it bold for everything. Just don't bold a thesis approval and leave it for abstract. So that doesn't look good. So that's not consistent. All you have to remember is be consistent throughout your document. You have something to say?
No, I'm good. I'm good so far. I didn't know how many templates you were going to
Okay.
I actually have a question.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
What is the copyright, what's the copyright process? Is that different than the embargo process?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to get to both.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
We'll talk about it. Yeah. Just give us a few minutes. So that's how it follows, and then we have an abstract template, and so I think I can stop it explaining you the abstract template. And the main problem which I see in most of the documents is that they consider this thesis or dissertation just like any other technical paper, and students just write abstract and start writing their abstract. So they don't follow this. So you have to actually follow this thing. So you have to write your name, and this is the date of defense. So for page 2, for approval page, and also for the abstract, you have to write your date of defense. And then for the first title page, it is your graduation date. I'm just reminding you so that you don't go wrong. And you have to include your title, your professor name, and then here, it is from here wherein you start writing your document. And one more important thing, it is from this abstract page, you're going to start numbering your pages. And this numbering for the front matter, like for your abstract acknowledgements, it's going to be in your Roman numerics. So it's not Arabic, it's not 1, 2, it's going to be your Roman numerics. So be very cautious about that. And another problem which I see is that your abstract could be in Times, could be in Arial, whatever it is, so based on your thing, so it could be consistent. But I could see a variation in the content font and the font with your page numbering. So make sure that they all look similar and also follow the same size. So don't make it too big, too small. So make sure it looks good on your page. And this is how we have the few rest of the templates. We have table of contents, and make sure that you follow the same order. You can't have list of tables, a list of figures on top of table of contents, and few people add this table of contents on top so that they could include where is abstract, where is title page. So that's wrong. So this is called organization. You have to organize your document this way. And from the chapters, your numbering starts from the chapter. So you can just go, I write chapter 1, your title, and that's where the numbering starts. And remember that this document only has to be left justified. It only has to be left aligned. It should not be completely justified. And people make it completely justified in order to make it look even better. But as per the format, you only have to do it left justified and don't get justified to the right. And the document should not be right justified, and it must be double spaced, yeah. Okay, yep,
Yeah. Our job is to take care of the first few pages at the beginning. When it comes to the content of your dissertation or thesis, we are not worried about that. That's something that you've worked with your committee with. The only things we would be looking for would be really left justified, that the numbers and the font is the same. And then there's like two little things that come up within the document, and that is figures and tables. Figures are fine, you put them up. The name of the figure should come at the bottom, and for the table, the name comes at the top. So table, if you just remember tabletop, you know that's where it goes. If you are thinking already, I've got tables, I've got figures, some of you may not need to worry about that, so don't worry. But those are the only couple of things that we're looking within the dissertation, the content, okay? So don't worry, we won't be looking at
what you wrote and what it actually means. So we'll just be concentrating on the format. Is it according to the guidelines or not? So, and next, mainly for chapters, you include page numbers, and this could be on the top right or bottom left, bottom center, I'm sorry. But that shouldn't be on bottom right. It should not be there. So it could be on the top right or bottom center. And coming to this appendix cover sheet template, so this is something interesting. And say, for example, I've referred somebody else's work, so I've got the permission, I'm using it, I did a citation. So, and is it just okay if I use a citation? So can somebody answer it? So I'm using somebody else's copyrighted information in my dissertation, and do you really think it's just okay to, if we include a citation? No, yep, you're right. So it's not just okay. You also should include their permission email. It could be an email or any sort of confirmation that you got the permission from that publisher to add the content which they have copyrighted into your document, and also attach that in your appendix page. That is mandatory. Don't forget to add that permission page in your appendix. And before that, before you have a list of appendix pages, all you have to include is an appendices cover sheet. And don't forget, this should not contain any page number. This cover sheet should not contain any page number. And the page numbers, like, so I have 5 chapters and my last page is 101, for example. And I'm done with the chapter. So now I have an appendices cover page. I don't have a page number. And right away, when I have an appendix A, the first page in appendix, it should continue with 102, not 103. People usually go wrong there. So what people do, just erase the number so that it doesn't look on this page and start continuing with the rest of the pages. So before this page, if the number is 101, so after this page, it has to be 102, not 103. Just be cautious. And if you have any problems with the page numberings, like using Arabic, using Roman, and if you have really no clue how to differentiate and how to add it, so all you have to do is you can add either section breaks so that your document can contain multiple section breaks. It allows you to actually include various sorts of page numbers. It could be numerals, it could be Roman, so whatever it is. And if you still find it difficult, you can just email me. I can let you know the process. And if you still find it difficult, I can do it for you. So all you have to do is mail it to etdsupport@siu.edu. And the last, we have a references page. And don't forget, you are supposed to add only all your references at one place. So you can't add references at the end of each chapter. All your references, you may include it and refer it, but the references list has to be at one place. So all the references should be at one side. And the last is the VIDA template, so which is just your academic profile, so which contains your. Okay, I think we had enough hands-on session. So I don't want to make it look just like this. So whenever you have queries, so you can bug us anytime, just write it or come meet us at grad school. We are here at 3rd floor, so you can just come meet us anytime, me or Genevieve or Dr. Marcos. Okay, and this is how we went through. You can also have guidelines. You can see the guidelines, the format, the submission process over there. And the next thing is the ProQuest. Yeah, now you're done with your document. All you have to do is go submit it on ProQuest. And please don't send it to emails. Don't email it and expect a review out of emails. So all you have to do is you have this ProQuest, ETD ProQuest. And if you don't find the link, you can directly, right. So you are at this grad school page. You have a link for ETD submission process. Just go there. It can redirect you to ProQuest, so you can log into ProQuest for submission. Or you can directly do this from the grad school webpage as well. So this is how it looks. All you have to do is submit just one copy of your PDF, and then you wait for the review. Just give us 2-3 days, a couple of days. And in busy times, like when the schedule or the deadlines are approaching, you have to give us some more time. So don't delay and don't wait till your deadline is approaching. So we suggest you to do it early. So the faster you could do, the more speed you can expect a reply from the administrator. And once you get a revisions list, all you have to do is go revise your document and then re-upload it back to the ProQuest. So, and again, you can do this any number of times before it gets approved. It's not like you have to pay each time. All you have to do is while you're submitting, you'll be paying only once. And that cost is $28, and that's just for the library copy. And they'll not ask you for any more. And if you want to get it copyrighted, you can get copyrighted through ProQuest. And all you have to pay is $55 more if you want to get it copyrighted. So that it gives you a list of, you'll be registered, and that gives you a list of the rules and the benefits you get out of that. Okay, and finally you're done with revisions and everything seems good. Your document will be approved by Dr. Rose, and then all you have to do is you just have to wait for the approval email, and once you get your approval email, ProQuest is going to take care of everything. So you don't have to worry about it. It's going to be delivered on the ProQuest, and it will do a hard copy, and then it's going to send it to library. You don't have to worry about it. And the main thing is for the approval, I have a question for you. So it's not a sort of question. So people might wait that I have not completed my oral, I did not complete defending my document. So can I still upload it on ProQuest? Yes, you can still upload it on ProQuest, because we're just checking for your format. We're not going to see if you're okay with the content or if the committee has approved it or not. So there you go. So please, yeah.
The April 6th deadline, is that for submission, or do you have to review?
Right, before the submission, before the deadlines. We'll have to review and approve it.
So the review and the approval has to happen before.
Right.
April 6th is the format.
April 6th is a format deadline,
Which
but
means
you have to upload it before that, and it's better if you get your document approved even before April 6th, because we have like many students uploading it on April 4th, April 5th, and come meeting us in grad school asking us to go review it. But I think it's not possible, because there could be many revisions. So that's going to be a loop. You have to revise it, again upload it, again revise it, and do it many number of times. And you can't expect us like to do it just like that. You may be in queue. There are many people waiting ahead of you. So what I suggest, all right, yeah.
I did not yet recognize this, but I already finished writing.
That's all right. You just go upload it to ProQuest. So we'll check with the format.
It said that I have to do
That's what I'm saying. You can just switch those steps. So you first upload it to ProQuest. We're going to check for your format. And important point is that it's not going to be approved. It will be on hold. So unless we receive your approval documents from your departments to grad school, it's not going to be approved, but you'll be done with your process. Yeah.
And now I just submitting. I saved my file into Word. So to submit to use that program,
It has to be converted to PDF. Right.
Then I need to.
Right. If you have any problem like with the conversions, you have, and few people do it in many documents, just like you said. So they might be using these templates. So you have a different page for approval, for different page for title. All you have to do is merge all these pages into one PDF. So if you have any problems in merging or converting, so you can just email. Just a second. So you can email all your separate documents. I can merge it for you. All you have to do is send it to ETD support, at siu.edu asking for merging and conversions to PDF. That could be done right away, and I can send you an email back with one PDF. Yep.
So I have I'm just detail.
Uh-huh. Right, I got it. Uh-huh.
If I have a problem, with the beginning to front portion of pieces and the chapter. So like if I give you the two, if I do one in red and one in say in case, just in case, you can merge it first.
The thing is, and that's a problem with latex. So we'll not be able to edit that. We don't have sufficient software so that we can edit your documents if there are any problems. We can.
PDF formats.
Right. I can merge it for you. Right. So you can give me two different files. I can merge it into one. So though they are into different format, I can convert that to PDF and then merge it to one. Right. Got it. Right. No problem. Right. You can give me one PDF and the rest in Words. So I can merge all these Word files into one PDF and then finally merge these two PDFs into one document. So just, right.
For the appendix, like you said that, you give references.
Right.
It's my choice, but I put in the appendix.
Okay, right. It's your choice. It's completely your choice.
I've given references that like see this in the appendix. That's all.
References is different from appendices.
No,
so you
like
have
in my chapters. There's something that I don't want to put in the chapter.
Right. You can have like your acronyms. Like if you have, say, if somebody is using. If somebody has a human subjects or do they have a survey, so you can add it to your appendices. So you don't have to include all that in your chapters, no? Right. So, yeah, I can answer your question.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry?
Yeah.
Before, you can do it before. Yep.
But, just keep in mind, if your committee says you need to be making some changes, be aware of them as you're going through. If you need to do certain things, that will change the formatting. Sometimes it happens with numbers and stuff.
Numbers and
So
page
there may
numbering.
be, some change.
You just have to be cautious. Right, yeah.
With regard to the notation of approval date, do we have to submit the page with no signatures?
Oh, just a second. So is it with the dissertation approval?
Yes. The ones will be submitted without signatures.
Right.
So signature will be on a separate.
So just the name you have to list.
Okay.
And the approval page, which will be taken care by your department. They would send the approval page, original copy, not a Xerox or a copied one. So your original copies of your approvals will be taken care by your department, and that would reach grad school. You don't have to worry about this. And this page in your document is, you just have to mention your names and who that person is. You don't have to write the branch or the department who they belongs to. Right.
Is it possible, can you walk us through the submission process?
Submission process,
Yeah.
you want? Okay, so if you have like that question, you can come meet me in person, because I don't have a student ID to go do that. So I can, maybe it takes a lot of time. And yes, we can show you some slides wherein people go wrong or find it difficult.
Yeah.
In the submission process, yes. Right, yep. Right, yep.
Yeah, about the approval form,
What
time the approval form for the department have to be grad school so that I can get my approval by the day?
It usually happens after you pass your defense, and that should be before the deadline.
That will be before
April 6th, yeah. Only then we'll be able to approve your document. Your document will be on hold unless we get that document. Even if you submit that in advance, we'll not be able to approve you. I'm sorry. So make sure you get the document before and plan accordingly. Say, for example, you can't just wait till March 1st week or something to defend your document, and then your department might take some few days to get it signed and send it to grad school. So you may miss the deadline. So why to take a risk? So plan accordingly, do your document things, and yeah.
So when you upload your dissertation there, and you didn't defend yet, then the committee members asked you to make changes.
Right.
But you were approved before it. You haven't tried.
No, that's what I'm saying. We're not going to approve that. That will be on hold. So, for example, you have submitted your document that's available on request. Now, I've reviewed your document and sent you a list of revisions. You're done with that, and everything looks so perfect for me. So and now the status is still submitted, but it's not approved. So once you go defend your document, defend what your theory or your thing is, only then we'll be receiving your approval form, and then the status gets changed and Dr. Rose can convert and approve it further. So unless it is approved, but make sure once it is approved, you can't go and re-edit the document. I have a call few days back from a student who has already graduated last semester, but he actually wanted to make some revisions to his document that is already approved and published on ProQuest. I'm sorry, you can't do that. So we give you enough time to get the document approved. So all that you have to do is do enough changes before that. You can't just go and do any change after your document is approved.
So,
Swati, let me say something though. After you have submitted and we have approved your formatting, and then let's say you get some suggestions from your committee, from your chair to make some changes, you do make those changes, then you need to upload again. And then we will check your formatting again at that point.
Right.
Probably most of it will be the same, but if you did make some changes to some things, then we'll note that and give you feedback on it. And then we will, so it's okay to then submit again, even after you have gotten an email from us saying your formatting is good. If you then are asked to make more changes and it's before the deadline, then you go ahead and make the changes and submit again. No problem.
Right.
Oh,
I'll give him a minute.
So if your thesis falls after the deadline and
No, that will automatically move to the next semester.
okay, so if you submit your formatting with the approval sheet and then you
Right.
get the actual approval sheet after
No, that we're not going to consider that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm just
Ask your whole question again. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
So, within the submission of the piece, you can submit that, you said, before your defense,
Right.
right?
For formatting.
For formatting.
And that if you're okay and if you are aware of your defending date.
Okay, and then once you have your defense, you upload the entire thing again, or do you just as a separate document?
You'd upload the entire
Entire-
document again.
Right.
Okay.
If you make any changes
Changes,
to it.
right.
After the defense, which most of the time there are some changes. I don't know if,
Right.
personally of anyone who's never had any changes. So there will be a few changes.
Yes.
They may not affect your formatting, but certainly you might be rephrasing or adding more explanation for something or something. So, but then after you make those changes, you'll upload the entire
Entire
document,
document.
one PDF again, just like you did for the format.
Okay, and if it's just, if the only change is the approval sheet, is that on practice?
That's not a problem. If that's the only change, then good job for you. You wrote it well the first time. Yeah, that's okay.
Right.
I'm kind of confused with this approval. It is my thesis, it has this approval sheet. So my professor, the member, will they going to sign here or is
No,
separate copy?
they're like two different forms. This is just a sheet wherein you list your professor details. And there's an approval form on grad school which has to be filled and got it signed. And once your committee has signed it, your department will send it to grad school. These two are two completely different forms. This is where you just mention their names, who has
They don't
reviewed and
sign here.
no, they don't
Correct.
have to. They don't have to sign it here.
I will need another form.
Uh-huh.
Should I download that and? then
You
send?
have, I think most of the departments have that already. They have few hard copies, and if you don't find it, you can just go to SIUC Graduate School and just scroll down. You can see an option forms. So just navigate to that. You'll find a section to for all the forms related to ETD, this thesis or dissertation. You can find your approval forms, your oral defense forms, and everything is available there. You can just download it and get the signatures done.
And years ago, it's kind of confusing because years ago when we did use the book and we published the actual paper book, then we did take your approval forms and put them right into the hard book. we don't do this because we don't want to have signatures in an electronic document on the website where they can be copied and used. So there are no signatures in your published EDT.
So that actually is, I think that I was asking.
Okay.
So the approval form is what I was asking about, and the approval form that your signs is not the approval form that.
No.
That's correct.
Right.
They're two different. Okay, sorry.
So then they're responsible for keeping that graduate school, and that's what is.
Generally, the department does send them to the graduate school, yes. And that's just goes separately, yes.
You say that for deadline for format checking is April 6th, right?
Yes.
That's why I do need that deadline. My cases defense is on April 10th.
And that's what I'm
It's
saying.
only
Yeah.
on April 10th, then will I get that April 30th deadline?
If you is your defense on April 10th? Is it truly, or are you theorizing that? Because I would recommend, that's really cutting it close. It is possible, though. Here's how it would go if that would work. You would upload your entire paper prior to April 6th to get your formatting checked. Then you will get an email back saying, make these changes to your document. You make those changes, upload it again. Then you get another email saying, good job, your formatting looks good. Then you'll go to your defense and your committee will say, all right, you need to make these changes to your content. Then you have to go home and make those changes. Then you'd have to upload your entire PDF again. The formatting will be checked. Then you make sure that your committee is okay with the changes. Often it's your committee chair that takes care of those final changes and says, yes, you changed it like we asked you to. Then they'll take the paper approval forms, sign them and send them to the graduate school. You'll have uploaded with your changes all the way before April 13th. Yes, that's your final submission. So April 10th defense is very scary because you have to understand your corrections, make your corrections, upload again before April 13th. That's very close. It is possible.
But I can still work between April 6th and April 30th, right?
You can be working on your paper if you're thinking of things you want to add to it, but then you just eventually have to come up with, this is my final one, this is what I'm uploading and uploading.
But just to make sure, that consider that to be a worst case scenario, because so there could be some like nearly 100 or 50 documents that are pending for review who have uploaded it prior April 6th. So I can't, or Genevieve or Doctor, we don't have enough time. So, and there could be many revisions after your changes. So just to be on a safer side, to just upload it before April 6th. And I suggest not to even do it on April 5th or 4th. So as soon as you complete your defense, or just as soon as you complete your document, just upload it to ProQuest.
Because those kinds of changes that we would notice, a margin on your title page or the label for your table being in the wrong position, those kinds of things you can take care of before you even show it to your committee.
Right.
These are things your committee won't even be looking at. Really.
Actually, you could do all the templates today, probably.
Right.
Have them all done.
Right.
Certainly the title pages.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I do all the format checks together, one month, I'm not supposed to. But if my confusing. My format is correct, but I was final changes like around April.
The key is you have to submit it for a format check prior to April, or by April 6th, okay? So do that, you can do it any time in advance of that, but it has to come in at least once before that.
Before 6th.
Okay?
And also, I want to add something to that. So, for example, if you're going to do that on April 10th, and so you did your corrections by 11th or 12th, and we have not yet received your approval form to grad school, and there you have missed your deadline. So also make sure by April 13th or just April 12th, your approval document is with grad school in order to get your document approved on ProQuest. So you might do it on 10th, you can do it on 11th, but make sure that your document reaches grad school, or you can directly come and submit your document to grad school on or before 13th to get it approved. So if it reaches or on 13th after 4:30, once the school is closed, so automatically it moves to your next
So it's a very good idea to communicate with your chair or whoever in your department is handling these documents, to make sure you understand how the process happens. And if you want, you can offer, I'll walk it over to the graduate school myself. Some departments will do that. Others will say, no, we'll take care of it. But you know how this is very important to you. Other people, it's important to them, but not as important as it is to you. So it's good to follow up and make sure you know the process and offer to help if you want to, but they all know the deadlines too. So, and you have a question.
Let's say when you're done with everything, you guys have the approval forms and all the documents ready, you've submitted everything. So once you approve, we get a formal approval mail saying that everything looks good and it's submitted, and now it's on to ProQuest. Okay. So once ProQuest gets everything, do they also send us an email saying, okay, everything's fine? And I mean, are all the changes in your hands, or does ProQuest also do something?
No, they don't actually get the approval forms. So we don't need to send the approval forms to ProQuest. So all the ProQuest has is your document, and that's the reason why I'm asking you to upload any extra information in your appendices. So once it's approved, so the ProQuest will take care of that, and you'll receive an auto-generated email that you did a great job. It's approved, and you just leave the rest to ProQuest. It's going to take care of that. Right.
Anytime we make changes or we need to add something, or when we approve, or when Dr. Morose approves, it automatically sends you an email. So you know exactly what's happening with your document. Okay.
So you'll be notified. Right. Yeah.
It looks to me there was a page automatically generated by request.
Right.
During the final version of the citation or thesis. So if we talk about this, I think it's between the title page and the approval page.
So what did you actually get? It says.
No, it's a page showing that this thesis has been uploaded to the request ID.
Uh-huh. And that's a notification.
The final version after you've done everything.
I didn't get.
It shows up in your document?
It's just showing that this thesis or the citation has been uploaded to ProQuest.
Okay.
You know, with every submission to ProQuest, there is submission ID.
Right.
Yes.
So that's your submission ID doesn't vary, but you'll be notified every time you do an operation on ProQuest. So whether it's your first initial submission or your revisions or your approval, you'll be notified, and that comes directly to your mailbox.
Okay, but this page should be added by us, or it's automatically added by the system in ProQuest?
No, you don't have to add anything. All you have to do is just add your document. That's it.
Are you referring to a page you've seen in someone else's completely finished?
In my case, I defended my dissertation last week.
Okay.
Uploaded dissertation to ProQuest just this Monday.
Okay.
So now I see, when I compare my dissertation with previous dissertations that in previous years, there is a page, looks to me, it's automatically generated by ProQuest. And this page, the place of this page is between the title page and the approval page. I think you already know about it. Just
okay, I got it now. So I think this document is related to the one which we did yesterday. I was showing you something like this is how students do it, and we're about to write some revisions, but we didn't hit the revisions list. So you might get a page without any revisions inside because it's still taking, it's under process. So once we come up with the revisions, you'll receive an email. Maybe that's a wrong click from our side so that you have received an empty.
On ProQuest also, they might ask you if you'd like to order a paper copy of your dissertation or thesis. If you order through the bookstore here on campus, it's cheaper and it's quicker. So you don't have to order a paper copy if you want a paper copy through ProQuest. You can go to the bookstore and ask about what you do there is you simply take your paper stack however you want it and you hand it to them and they take it away and they get it bound for you. And there's a certain charge, I think it's around $28, and it's cheaper than ProQuest. And it's faster too. They do a quick turnaround.
So I just print it out at my home?
Yes.
Print it
Yes.
For the binding and the.
You just make it so it's exactly how you want it, and then you submit. So like when I did mine, my sister drew like a nice colorful cover for me, and I just stuck that on, because of course you don't submit that with the official one, but you can make it, it's your book. You just hand it to them, and then they will get it bound for you.
But would that copy also have to have the physical signature for the approval form?
No, that's your book, you're getting made, and like the bookstore won't check to see what you're putting in it or not putting in it. It's for you, yes.
Yeah, we're still gonna get to that. We just
Right.
haven't yet because there have been so many questions. Yeah.
So these are the common problems which students generally face. First thing is page numbering. Just like we had a discussion earlier, you have to include the front matter in in Roman numericals, and your chapters begin with Arabic numerals. So you might have difficulties in having two different sorts of page numbers in one document, and that is where I suggest you to just write it in two documents and then finally merge it, so it's not going to be a pain for you. If you still want to do that in one particular document, all you have to do is include section breaks. You just search for section breaks in MS Word. It can add section breaks so that it allows you to add multiple types of numerous page numbering, so each different for each page. So it doesn't stop you from just being in one particular format or style. And if you still have any problems, you can mail me. And page numbers on the landscape, and this is where the problem comes. Say for example, I have a huge table that doesn't fit in vertically in my portrait page. So all I have to do, all I think is to go landscape my page, that is like have it in horizontal. And where do I number it? Is it going to be according to the portrait, or is it going to be in the center of the landscape? So just like your page is now horizontal, you have to number it just below that. You don't have to do it on the right side. Got it? And the thing which people forget is to submit the revisions button. So usually after a week or so, people come and say that I've submitted the document, I did my revisions and submitted the document, I did not hear back from you. I'm sorry, I did not receive your document because you did everything, but you forgot to click that submit button. So yeah, so that sounds silly though, but yeah, that has happened. And pagination errors in PDF, which means that when you convert your MS Doc to your PDF, there could be some pagination errors when you don't deal correctly with your Word. So be cautious. Once the document is converted to PDF, just go through every page and see if it is according to the format which you have done in Word or not. And then this is the copyright permission being missed. This happens in two cases. One is you're willing to get your document copyrighted, and other when you're using somebody else's copyrighted information but you don't include it, their permission. So make sure you have both. So it is not okay to just have a citation. You should have citation, but along with your citation, you should include the copyright permission if you are using somebody else's copyrighted work. So make sure you have both citation and a copyright permission in your appendices attached. I often see people having some graphs, data, but they don't refer it. So that's not okay. But if this data is from internet, you can just say that it's openly available and that's the reason I've copied. No. So even we can approve it, but the ProQuest will catch you and keep a hold on that, and that page will not be published. So that's not going to be published. So be sure and be aware that you have every proper evidence to prove that you have got the permissions from that person. So make sure. And these are the questions, and please don't email your PDF. All you have to do is only just go and submit it to ProQuest. No emailings, please. And now tips for formatting: be consistent everywhere. So it could be consistent with the margins. You should have one margin all through the document, 1 inch margin, and you have to be consistent with the size, style, and size. So be consistent with the font size. So it has to be the same for all the headings. Should be in some same font size and style, and same with the content. And few people do it like this. So for figure headings, they bold it for few figures and they miss it for tables. So if you have tables and figures, do it the same for tables. You may miss it for few tables, so that's not okay. So be consistent across all through your document, and no full justification is allowed. Left justify text. You are not expected to write justify your text, and follow a double space all through your document. And running heads are not allowed. You need not have your heading at every page of your chapters. So that's not allowed. And okay, and here comes a question. So when you, all right.
Yeah, I would say that have to do left testing.
Right.
And the lesson for your department style. In my department style, they use IEEE style. And it is not left testing.
Is it complete justification? No, maybe few. The problem here is you better go with the site or the slides which the grad school contains, because it covers almost all the departments. And if that is contradicting with your department style, just send me an email. I want to reconfirm that, and I don't want to misguide you on that. So please do send me an email to ETD support. I think they might not have updated on website with proper information. I think so. I'm really not sure. So please do that. Please do email it. I can confirm that and get back to you.
Yeah, and for references, we don't care how you do your references if that falls under, your department style. We're only going to be really just checking that it says references at the top and that they're all the same, however you're going to do it. So if that is also a part of it, we don't, yeah.
We don't, yeah. And here comes the embargo. So while you submit your document, you'll be having an option. If you want to delay your release on ProQuest, you have like two options, yes or no. If you click no, I want to delay my submission on ProQuest, publish it to be published on ProQuest. So it will give you for duration, like how many months you want to delay it. Is it for 6 months? Is it for 1 year? Is it for indefinite, for patent? So, and when this happens, this usually happens when you have like your patent pending. So you want to get that published only once you receive your patent, or you have few information that is missing. So you can just do a delay on ProQuest, and this is how this is actually shown on the ProQuest. So I want my work to be available on ProQuest as soon as it is published. So if it is yes, it will be right away published. If it is no, you'll be given these lines, like wherein you can go select until the following date. So you have to specify a following date wherein you can expect your patent would be available. Until then, that will not be published on ProQuest. And this is just a reason to continue.
And if you're not sure, talk to your advisor. Right? We don't know the answer to that for you.
Okay, and these are the publishing options. One is to do with traditional publishing, and the next one is open access publishing. I personally recommend to go with traditional publishing because open access, it's going to cost you. It's going to charge you about $95 if you want your document to be open access. And I have an alternate for this. So all you have to do is once you submit this on ProQuest, we have our open SIUC, which is an open source for free of cost. Why do you go and use this just spending so much money over here? So first do a traditional publishing on ProQuest. You have an open SIUC. You can have your document accessible to everybody using open SIUC. Yeah. Anybody have some questions? Okay. Right.
Is a lady, is there a limit?
For?
I don't think so.
It said indefinite at the bottom.
So indefinite, yeah, you don't have a time. You have to specify a date.
Okay, but
So until the following date. So it could be either 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and you can even specify it.
Yeah. Oh, it did say leave blank to never display. So leave blank to never display.
Okay,
So if
okay.
you put until the following date and you don't put a date there, you don't want your paper to ever be displayed, you have that option.
Okay.
Oh, yes, are you open access, you said, that's only on campus.
So that's an open access, so
Because I remember I tried opening up the document at home, and I think SIU open access only works on SIU.
I'm really not aware of that. I can send.
Is it, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure about this. This is the first time I'm hearing about that, so I can.
Campus.
have any
Yeah,
information.
no, I don't.
No. We'll get back to you soon.
Something, so, but you guys do it at home.
Unless you can get EduRoam at home,
You gotta get the.
I think that's what it is, you have to be on the SIU
Uh-huh.
network, so that's why when you're out of that
Okay,
network,
great.
you're just on your
Okay,
network,
super,
you're
yeah, yeah.
as soon as you come to campus and you're on that.
I'm really not sure. We can get back to you with proper information.
So you might want to talk to your advisor about that. Your advisor might know more information.
Because I remember SIU used to let you, they used to have a link earlier where you could put your doc tag information, even if you're at home. But now I think the IT department has got rid of that access and you have to ask for it. And I think after I graduate, I might not getting that access. So
We'll
then.
have to investigate.
Right.
Right. Thank you for bringing that
Thank
up.
you. So, and this is what you.
It's not actually technically open access.
Right. Technically, if you are not allowed to access it, it's not open access. So we'll have to dig much into that and.
So if someone else wants to access.
Right. So in that case, if you don't have an alternate, I think maybe you'll have to go for an open access on Progress. If people really don't allow you to use this open SIUC anywhere. And the cost to you, this $28 thing is only the mandatory thing you'll be paying to Progress. So this happens for the first time when you go submit your document, and this is charged so that they can send a hard copy to the library. That's mandatory. And for the copyright, it's optional if you want to get it, so you do it. And there's no fee. And just like I said, for traditional publishing, you don't have any fee. And if you want to get it open access, so you'll have to pay some $5. Okay, and deadlines, very important thing. So it is April 6th for this semester, and usually it's going to be on week 12. And remember, it's not Friday midnight, it's Friday 4:30. Okay, so this deadline is for your approval, not for your format check. So be sure that you do it by week 11 to get your format checking done. And I've been repeating this, don't mind it. So we expect students to submit it as soon as they complete the document so that it doesn't get delayed much. Everything flows smooth then. So for summer, we have a short duration. So for summer, it's going to be week 4. And for spring and fall, it's week 12. And no exceptions. All submissions are due by the deadline date. And this is the workflow. So how many of you have applied for graduation this May? All right, we have many. And how many of you have already uploaded into Progress? Not many, not any. Oh, you, yeah, I know. Yes, I saw that. Okay, so maybe you can get confused with the steps 2 and 3 because the order shows you have to first pass your defense. You can just make a hold on that for now. You can still upload your document if you're good with, if you've completed your document. And I can't really ask you to just go upload. You students call me and say that I've completed like almost, but just the summary is pending. Can I still go and upload it? No, please first complete your document and then upload it for format check. You can't just leave your pages, right?
Can we do the survey ahead of time as well?
Right.
I could like do that.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. I have one question.
And you submit it. Oh, okay.
Question about the survey. So I've done the survey. The survey is online. Once you finish the survey, is there anything else that I'm supposed to submit?
I think
So,
there's
the
gonna be a
survey-
human
survey-
subject.
Yeah, the survey.
I mean,
It's a survey of the whole document.
Yes.
So everything is electronic, I don't have to.
as far as the survey,
Yeah. the
yes,
survey.
no, you just do it online and then you've done it.
Because I think I got an email saying that I did it, but that's it, I
Great.
don't have to attach the email.
No, you don't have to. Yeah, we'll know in another way, so.
And then all you have to do is go submit it to ProQuest, and then you'll be getting the revisions list. Do it as many times you get it, and then you get an approval email, and congratulations, you're done. Okay, and now the main thing about the copyright permission, and don't feel bad that I'm insisting so many times and I've been repeating this. 2 things to keep in mind. Get your information copyrighted if you feel or if you consider it to be important. And when you use somebody else's information, always add a permission which you have. Always get a permission and add it to your document as well, so that it remains as a proof that you didn't cross the limit. And you don't have to pay for it again when somebody else get to know that you have used their information. Insert the permission letter in the appendices, and you must obtain this permission. And while you, alright,
Yeah, will that include also if you have some chapters in your dissertation already published?
By yourself, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you
They're
can
yours.
quote your own work,
Yeah.
that's okay.
right.
Because the last time that I attended the workshop with Christina, he said that I should include the copyright also, even if the work was from me.
Or you can just mention it like it is referring your own thing.
Did you copyright your thesis then?
No, but as I said, in the last workshop, I mean, they told me that if you already have published some of the material, you should ask permission to the publisher.
Oh.
So that you can add that to the copyright, even though it's your own work, but you still need to get the approval. So I don't know if that's still something that needs to be done or not.
So you wanna send an email to yourself and approve it, and then
No, to the publisher.
Yeah.
to the publisher.
Then they will say, okay, it's
All right.
okay for you to, but I don't know if that's something that is still needed to do or not.
That's a good question. I'd like to investigate that. And
Okay.
So if I could get your name and email after.
Sure. Thank you.
Right.
Can I add to that?
Right.
I think when you publish your paper, the journal will send you a copyright transfer.
Not all the time, depending on the publisher of the journal. They will only,
You might have to ask.
they will only send you, okay, you.
So
can
for
raise
any
it.
sort of questions you have with ProQuest, you better call technical support ProQuest and ask them like what are they going to do and how the flow works. Any sort of technical questions, right? Yeah.
What's the difference between citing references and having to get permissions for you?
So citing reference is that you just add it in the footer that you have you make a citation that it is being referred from so and so paper. But you should also get a permission, like you may have to write it to that person through an email, contact them and get the approval from them. Because that information is copyrighted by them. You can't just misuse that information and use it and refer it to your document.
Yeah, usually this happens with figures,
Yeah.
tables,
Right.
pictures,
Data,
maps,
any
these
sort
kinds
of
of
data.
things
This
that are
is not
somebody
when you
else's.
just quote someone, an author or
Right,
anything
right.
like that.
They reference their data, like this is what they found in their.
Yeah, that's,
No, that's okay, you can just cite that, right? But like,
Recreating a figure or something like that.
yes, something that someone has designed and it's unique, it's not just a quote or,
Yeah.
because you'll have lots of people's work and you'll just simply cite them, but this is very special. A photograph, a chart, a
Chart.
map, or something that's
Something which they have
created.
worked on, something which they
Yeah,
came
Or
up
their raw
after a
data.
lot of survey.
possibly a chart of their raw data,
Right.
something like that. You can ask your advisor, if it's something that is open to the public to use, then you don't have to go through this extra step. But if it's something that's just been published in their book or journal article and they have a claim to it, then no, they can use it.
If for some reason we didn't, give permission,
just in the event that maybe I'm like really railing against this thing that I'm using and they don't like that and don't want me to use it in my work. Aren't we protected like under educational use copyright wise?
Sorry. And that's where it is. It's protection against infringement. You'll have to face that. So they can go ahead and file a suit. So you better get the approvals, and if they approve it, you better add it or find an alternate for that. You'll not be under any safeguarding measures. Like it could be just for educational purposes, but maybe they're not willing to accept that. We never know. So you can check with your advisor if you're not really sure. So it looks like just the raw data. Why do I have to go and ask permission from that person? You can, but they might consider it to be an important thing. So always to be on a safer side, just be cautious. Okay, you have works that never had any copyright permission. You have it available on public domain, and all the information like you have the information created by the United States government or something like that. You are ready to use it anyway. You don't have to go ask them that I'm using it because it's up in public and domain. It's available in public domain. You can just go and use that. And for these are the main things. This is for the ETD support, student services building, third floor, and there's my number. You can call me and just say that I have this query, or you can directly write to etdsupport@siu.edu to get all your questions answered. Even after going after this session, if you have like any sort of questions in your mind running to help with dissertation and thesis format and guidelines, you can anyway come meet us, or you can just write an email. And for the technical support, and this number is the ProQuest number, you can call them up and you can check with them. Like if you have any technical questions with the flow, or while you have just like the person asked me to show the submission process. So if you have any questions, if you're stuck somewhere that you can't decide what to choose, you can just call them and say, and we're paying for them, so they are answerable for us. So you can just call them and ask. Like you may have questions like, my supplementary file is so huge. If, for example, for mass communication students, they might have to add a whole movie to as a supplementary file, and you might be worried like how much the size is allowed. I can't really help you with that. So in such cases, you can go call them and check with them like what are the permissions and what extent it is allowed on ProQuest. And for any, if you have any FAQs, we have an FAQ section and the same template where we have guidelines templates, and the last section is FAQs, wherein you have many of the questions which usually students face. So you can just go through it and you can solve your questions by your own. And digitization, and this is something like once you're done, so our library make a copy of a digital thing. So, and it makes a copy and it's for campus access only. And this is the Open SIUC, which I will reconfirm and get back to you, because you just said you don't have access it outside of this SIUC. So, okay, I think we can investigate more on that and get back to you. Thanks. And yep, that's what we had in today's session. So we had like ETD guidelines, some templates, and library assistance. So, and now, sorry, this is the earlier slide. So we used to have assistance for ETD support in library like 1 year ago, and now it is in student service building. So for any sort of assistance with the PDF conversions or any guidelines, this is in student service building grad school. So, and you can have the technical support ProQuest, just call them and bug them, no problem. And submit ETD only to ProQuest, and please don't submit it to email, and that's not the process which you're supposed to follow. You will be approved, your document will be approved only on ProQuest. And review, you get it reviewed and revise it, submit all forms to graduate school. In order to get your form approved, we should receive all your documents to graduate school. Only after checking for your documents, Dr. Rose can approve your document, your thesis or dissertation, and then you can get it approved. Right. Any questions finally? Right, yeah.
One way you should please share your presentation somewhere on the website.
And we're going live. So if somebody who is live here on YouTube, if you want to post or ask some questions, just add it in your comments. We're gonna answer you right now. So we have like few students attending it live, and this will be uploaded on SIU Graduate School channel on YouTube. And this whole session is recorded. You can just go and see it there.
Suppose I'm taking like a 1 year embargo, then I want to add something, some permission or something.
Right. If it is just to do with the parent of commission, you can, but you can't make any changes to your document. Your content note that can't be changed. Maybe you'll have to just add that extra document once you get the parent.
I just want to add like myself publication, which I want to publish. I want to add that. I want to take permission from the publishers.
Okay, once you have added, you want to add permission to that. So just see if it is already published on Progress or not. And if you already have an embargo on that and you delayed it, yes, you can add that permission as a supplementary file and let them know that you have added this file. And you can add them to publish it on Progress.
Yeah. Does anybody
And in
else
that
want
case, you don't
a
have to
pamphlet
wait for
if you didn't get one?
1 month, 6 months. Want to get it published on Progress in the middle, say, I am specified to wait for 6 months, but do I really have to wait when I get my parent just after 2 months? So you don't have to wait. You did so much hard work and you can get your things off right away.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Can we see if we have any questions over here? Zakia, nice meeting you here.
Excellent.
Thank you. Hi, just give me a moment. I just want to see up there. Okay, we don't have any questions right now. Thank you. Bye-bye.